All right, then, let's move to our next story. This takes us to up north again. You know, amid growing reports of vandalism of critical national assets, especially power installations, there's a need for some checks, if you ask me. So Nigeria has decided to set up a special security team to protect its power installations and infrastructure. Minister of the Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, says the government has decided to have the Power Rangers. You know, the Power Rangers have come into the picture. Their job will be, they are created with officers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, and would be responsible for stopping the vandalism of power infrastructure, which has caused blackouts across the country, Kayode.
So it points to
so welcome Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers, for the fact that it's so disheartening to hear that.
That was, that was a cartoon series, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah, back in the days, I remember. But you know, you're much older. But I remember Power Rangers. That was a very popular cartoon. So I think it's a good idea, but beyond this lovely idea, we're looking at structures. We're looking at what is sustainable. NSCDC is already recognized by the Constitution. Power Rangers is more of a policy issue by the minister. What happens when Olubunmi Ojo is no longer there? But it's a good thing because it's going to solve the problem in the immediacy. We're dealing with people who are living among us and are destroying power installations and putting the whole community, states, and darkness. That's very wicked. So like you said, tip off, confidentiality, where people can still be protected when they give this information to these security agencies. Let's be sure that these security agencies are not complicit, because if you divulge who is behind these things, be sure that they are not coming for you few days after or even a day after. So beyond what the minister has done, people should own it. Power Rangers should be encouraged. Whatever incentives, whatever way you can make them know that, oh, this is for the good of this community. And whoever is caught should be paraded, should be dealt with, because it's not just an economic sabotage, it's a criminal activities that must be dealt with. So I sincerely
may I drop this in here? Emeka, are you by any chance missing the NOA? National Orientation. So we are talking about the town crier system.
It's very sad. It's very sad. In fact, in many communities, the town crier has now upgraded to megaphone crier. You see, many towns, they bought big, speaker, these horn speakers, very big. They mount them on vehicles, on motorbikes, and then somebody is moving around, with a microphone and a small amplifier.
Orientating the people.
Yes, and it goes far and wide. Then in the market too, of course, the information, they'll tell you when you get back home, tell the people, tell your people, even in the churches, in the mosques, community groups, even on WhatsApp, because, I don't think so many towns now have, WhatsApp groups. So the information spreads, all around. And I think also the government needs to look at the laws. Because if, people are prosecuted for vandalizing power infrastructure and what they get is just 1 year or 2 years in prison, I for one, want the prisons to be, the correctional centers to be decongested. Yes, so that those who don't have any business,
criminals
people
inside.
who have light, who have light, street traders and all that, give them non-custodial, sentences, community labor, and remove those people. Then those who should be there, those who have volunteered to make the society ungovernable, then put them there. Because when you damage,
sifting the wheat from the chaff.
Yes, when you vandalize power infrastructure, what you do is you put the lives of people in check. You can prevent a woman in labor from delivering safely. Because when there is no power, the midwives, the doctors may not be able to deliver safely. You will not allow children in school, to have a safe learning environment. Factories will not be able to produce optimally and then pay salaries, and then you are going to have you're going to prevent the broad spectrum of the society from functioning optimally because of your greed. And so that greed, you and the greed should be packaged together and put in prison for a reasonable length of time, so that when people know that if they vandalize my infrastructure, there would be stringent conditions awaiting them in correctional centers, they will think twice. But you see, when it just lied maybe just 1 year, of course, what is 1 year? Just 9 months. Even before the prosecution ends.
But the impression must not be created that my society, your society, his society is that permissive, Kayode. There are laws, but are we giving effect to these laws? That perhaps is where the...
I think that's what is giving birth to these power rangers. I mean, these rangers, in the sense that how do you expect the man who's on the street, somebody is lifting it? Are we saying nobody saw them? And do you expect police to now be stationed in that place when we are dealing with less than 500 personnel in the police force? Are they going to be on every street every day? Trust me, if you even put them on the street every day, they will turn it to something else.
I think we mentioned the issue of volunteering information. That should be hyped. We need it. That's the essence.
And trust me, because of the level of poverty, which is a factor, people want to be compensated. People don't just want to do anything for free. It's a terrible culture.
Yeah.
But then it is where we have found ourselves for now, because I see these as a temporary measures. Power Rangers should not be thing that should continue for long.
But don't make me believe that people want to be paid for they are greeting you. No. It has not gotten to that.
Maybe you should ask politicians when they go to parties.
When they say happy weekend, happy weekend. You know
happy
what
Valentine.
Good day, sir.
Happy New Month.
I've been greeting you since. That's how terrible it is. But on a very serious note, this is a temporary measures and it's welcome. But beyond that, we should have that sense of responsibility to detest someone as little as throwing something through the window when you're driving. So if that could be a terrible behavior, if you see it as terrible behavior, trust me, somebody who is destroying the power installations is a serious criminal.
Time was when cannibalizing rail tracks was in the news.
Exactly. And I just believe that when we have more of them and we have security in place and we have some sense of responsibility, but like you said, NOA has picked up this, NOA is talking about it. Even the president gave a directive that NOA, this is a serious issue you must take up, including those people who also scoop fuel when there's a falling tanker. All these little issues, the president and some of you cannot just phantom it, where people do what they still do.
Okay, so the news is Power Rangers have come into the picture, and they are to help bridge gaps, missing gaps, you know. And we wish the Minister of the Interior Godspeed.